Are we rolling? We're good?
Yeah, that's all making it, too.
All right, welcome back to the BotchPod. The BotchPod. The BotchPod. The BotchPod. The worst podcast in the world. Welcome back to the BotchPod, the worst podcast in the world. Today, we have Jimmy Scott. Welcome,
up, sir. Junior, gotta add the junior.
Oh, Junior, my bad.
My dad is the original Jimmy Scott, so.
Okay. Is your son the third?
No, he's Julian. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my ex-wife did not want a Jimmy the third.
Didn't want a third, huh?
Yeah, man.
I would say I'm a junior. I don't know if I would name I mean, I would think about it, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for coming through. You brought fucking snacks.
That's what I do, man. I gotta come prepared.
You love the cotton candy stuff. You literally the other day you did like a bucket of cotton candy.
Yeah.
And you poured
And
milk into it.
Yeah,
and
so
just
what
drank
we
it.
got to do is get you a cotton candy thing so you could pour the Sprite in there.
Yeah,
Taste it.
Sprite and cotton candy.
Sprite and cotton candy.
Cotton candy Sprite, it should be a thing if it's not a thing.
It's
Happy to try it.
Yeah, all right.
We gotta make it a thing. We gotta keep pushing it.
That's right.
So you were just saying you did 20 years as
A surgical technologist, yep.
Yeah.
So that was 20 years of passing tools to surgeons. I hated it all 20 years, but I stuck with it. I became one of the best to do it, according to my peers and doctors and surgeons that I worked with. But just because I was great at it, I just didn't like it. I felt caged in, boxed in. Being in the operating room. One time I worked 28 hours straight because it's surgery. You can't just leave, right? So, just being boxed in a room for 8 to 24 hours a day was just just anxiety. Like, I'm just too creative to be in this room. Just boxed in here. So I need to be out there moving around and, seeing what else is out there. Just being creative. So.
Right.
28 hours straight. That's fucking.
I got outside. I didn't know where I parked. It was I remember just standing there like I don't even know where to go right now.
Just disoriented.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, man. I've seen it all. I've done I've done it all. I've taken organs out, but I haven't done like transplants. I would say might be the only thing I haven't done.
It's gotta be like a lot of pressure too. Oh my god.
Oh, it can definitely be a lot of pressure. I didn't turn mine off either, so
I never have my ringer on.
maybe I should turn mine off real quick.
Never ever have my ringer on. And of course I have my ringer on today when I think no one's gonna text me.
And then the problem is I'm not going to turn it on and people ain't going to.
So you did 20 years doing that, and then what was it like transitioning from that to a full-time influencer?
Well, I kind of started the process while I was there. I mean, it was a grind. I mean, working that full-time job and then trying to create content. I was going hard on TikTok a couple years ago where I was doing 2 to 8 videos a day. And it was tough. I mean, 2 to 4 hours of sleep for a year, every night it was challenging. I look back at some of those videos and I could tell like I was sick looking, tired, just like skinny. But I just knew that this is what I want to do, So yeah, it was a grind, but yeah. So the transition I had started, and that's the thing. Like I'm all about playing the game. Even though I didn't want to be there, I was like, this is what I got to do. I got to build these accounts so that I can eventually get paid for them, right? So that was my goal, was to build the accounts and be able to use them as leverage to for promo and advertising other stuff and my own stuff. As I look to have products too. Like I'm known for hot sauce, so I look to have my own hot sauce soon. Merch, and then we'll see what else comes of it. Hats, I'm a hat guy, so eventually I'd like to have my own hats and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I feel like there's kind of like 2 routes that creators can really take. It's like either you're selling your own stuff or you're at like a billboard
doing
for
promo,
somebody.
right? And so that's why I consider myself as a walking billboard. And I think that's what I'm starting to realize. From sometimes you can afford it, sometimes you can't. And I think I just have to. What I'm realizing recently is like I just got to basically set my price and just know that I'm on a level at this point, and either you can afford it or you can't.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
That's hard too. I feel like that's one of the hardest things, like setting your price for
yeah,
companies. 'Cause it's kind of the wild, wild west. Like,
yeah, and it's interesting. What I'm starting to realize, now that I'm talking to a bunch of different brands and companies, is they're like a couple that I've talked to just like last week are like, oh, this is our first time working with an influencer. I'm like, in 2023, like this is the first time, and like you're not like DeBella's, DeBella Subs. They got multiple locations, and
I just had them for the first time recently.
Really? Yeah,
Pretty
so it's
good.
like Wegmans, right?
Yeah.
I guess Wegmans I think DeBella's was first, and then Wegmans like bought their bread recipe or something.
Okay.
I don't know if they're identical in their supply as far as like, do they get their meat and cheeses from the same spot? I don't know, but they're pretty much identical in the way they look.
Yeah,
I haven't
definitely.
had them enough to know if they're identical in taste, but they're pretty similar. And then the other one is that I worked with recently was Jersey Mike's. And I'm actually just signed a contract for another video with Charlie's Cheesesteaks, and just realizing like all the different levels. Like Charlie's Cheesesteaks, they know they lowball me on the number, right? And because they're basically like, are you good with 600 to do it for $600 to do one video? And I was like, yeah, I'm good with that. And she was like, are you sure we're not lowballing you? So you are, right?
Yeah.
So, but then you go talk to somebody else, like, and then they're like, we'll give you 150, or it's just like, you don't even know the game right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they basically say 1% of your following is what you can charge, right? So for IG, I'm at like, 57,000 or something. So that'd be like 570 just to do a video, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you got the other variables of engagement and how real your following is, and that. I did have a situation where I paid this marketing company like $800 for the month, and I thought they were going to help me with like what hashtags to use. It was actually when I was doing sneaker fridges to like showcase your sneakers. So I was taking I took a refrigerator and painted it, and I got another one at the house that I want to do. I want to do like a red, white, and blue one to like pitch to like for man caves or something. But not only sneaker fridges, but to also be able to use it. So you could use it as a sneaker fridge, or you can actually use it. So I was thinking about doing like a red, white, and blue one for like man caves, garages, for Bills fans or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought I was hiring this company for, and it ended up being, the whole BS of like paying for followers and stuff, because just the way it was working, like it was a lot of botted accounts. And so my account was having these weird numbers, and I tried to explain to the guy, like, I already have success doing this. So I'm not here for my account to look good and to have followers. I need real people, because I need real people going to restaurants. I need real people buying the food, right? So I need it to be real and legit, and it just wasn't the case. So I ended up hitting them up, and like 3 different times over the course of 3 weeks, I hit them up with questions like, this isn't right. Like, I know this is not right. So I got all these likes, and the likes are coming before the views, and like, it doesn't make sense. So last time I hit them up, I was at about 35,000 followers. I told them, I said, listen, I'm getting 10,000 likes a post, and I'm getting the views. I said, but my account's not growing. This doesn't make sense. If all these new people are seeing my account, I should be getting new followers. It's just a numbers game, right?
Yeah.
You get 1 million views, you're going to gain followers. So I hit him up, and I was like, my account's not growing. So 15 minutes after I sent him that text, my account went from 35 to 44,000. And I was like, and so then I hit him back, and I was like, come on, bro. I was like, stop messing with my account. I was like, how do we stop? Get me out of this. And so at that point, it was like, all right, I had to take that L, unfortunately, because, anybody's like, you bought followers. It was never the intent. But I'm back on track now, and it was, obviously you like to see 10,000 likes a post, but if it's not real, then it's not real. Like,
Right, it doesn't help with traction.
Yeah.
It just helps with appearance.
Right, and so I would say 9,000, of my 57 was from a mistake that I made by hiring this company, but You know, from 44 to now has been on me. So, you know,
That's good,
and
though.
my accounts are, you know, it's constantly growing. So I'm happy. You know.
Yeah, no, that's
With
good.
the slow growth, I'm not, you know, I'm looking to build for the future, and, you know, I want to be able to do, I don't want to get boxed into doing the same thing just for the likes. And like a lot of people are like, oh, you're just doing it for the views. And I'm like, you're not paying attention, because if I was doing it for the views, which I try to explain is that if I was doing it for the views, I'd just stay in my kitchen and I wouldn't use music. You know, me doing just a video by doing this, you know, pouring this in there without using music, I got a chance to get 1 million views, opposed to if I use music at a restaurant or something like that. So I'm paying attention to what works from a view standpoint, but that's not all I want to do. I want to go to restaurants. I want to use music. So I take those L's on the views just because this is the brand that I'm trying to build. And at some point, maybe that's what catches fire, because me using music, using a fabulous song, putting cheesesteak on some mac and cheese, which was one of the first videos that started popping on Instagram, that started my growth. You know, I was using music and that, so maybe it'll cycle back around to where, you know, music is the thing, you know, that I should do, you know, to get me the views. So
Yeah, music, I mean, it definitely helps, I feel like, with like TikTok at least.
So TikTok does not like music at all.
But like, there's trending sounds.
Yeah.
Sounds is what they like.
Yeah,
It's-
absolutely. So
yeah.
sometimes you can hit those. I seem to always be late. Like, here he comes.
Dude, it's
right?
tough to
He's
keep
late
up.
now.
It is. It's
Yeah,
tough.
It's tough.
Shit's like every day there's something new.
Yeah, that's
You
the
never-
thing with
yeah.
now. It's like going viral isn't even as special as it used to be, because it's just one time and it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you're up against is these creators going viral multiple times a day, every day.
Yeah.
You know.
No.
So that's not what I'm after. I'm not looking for that one video, because I've had them, and it's not like they mean that, you know, it's just, you're up against so much competition. So, you know,
Sure.
It's a tough game.
Yeah.
It really is. It's saturated right now. But you seem to be doing pretty well, man. I mean, if you're going full time and you have that stability, then fuck yeah, I keep running it. You know, I mean, you obviously know it. I like to believe there's no coincidence to somebody being a full time at anything. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason you're there, and you obviously know what you're doing.
so that's the thing with, you know, what I know that I'm going to deal with from a, you know, all he did was, right, but the hours, the work, the daily
Oh,
commitment for me to be able to, you know, pour milk in here and get views is
Yeah,
like,
sacrifice too. Like you were saying, like, I mean,
you know, 2 to 4 hours of sleep every
Yeah.
every night for a year. It was just like I was just napping for sleep, you know, just because this is what I got to do. I'm working this full-time job, so, and I got a wife and a son at the time, and it was just like, that's what I got to do.
you have the
man,
extra
you know?
additive too. Like, it's not easy, and no one ever gets how hard it is, especially when you're just from a viewer standpoint, which isn't a bad thing. Like,
Was
it's
it all
okay.
worth it though? Those 2 to 4 hour nights?
Yeah, man, because it's just yeah, I'm here, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm happy, you know, that I did it. I think I still got to kind of find that grind again, but it's definitely worth it.
You said you got to find the grind again.
Yeah, just from that, I feel like I'm not up at 2, 3 in the morning necessarily doing the work that I was doing before. Like, I'd wake up at, 1 or 2 a.m. even though I had to work at 6:30 and, do 2 hours of commenting and, engagement stuff, So, yeah, just stuff like that. I mean, some of the stuff, some of the tips as far as like engagement is going back on posts that you did 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 6 months ago, seeing the likes that you missed or the comments that you missed, and then because what happens is what I'm realizing is the algorithms, like people aren't seeing my videos like they used to. And so for me to go back 6 months ago and maybe, like that comment or comment back to something, that person hasn't been seeing my videos, but now that I did, maybe the algorithm puts them kind of back in my sights or whatever. So that's one of the things that I say too that could help, account growth is, how you deal with the engagement.
Definitely. Yeah.
So with Buffalo AF stuff, I personally kind of enjoy TikTok's new kind of layout with their comments and stuff because I don't see them. Like, they group them all together when you check TikTok. They group them up together. But I get so many hate comments.
I was gonna say you get a lot of
I
hate
get
comments.
so many hate comments, and I don't like dealing with them. But with
Yeah.
the old layout, like I would always see them, you know. And
I guess I haven't even really paid attention to tough.
It's just like
I mean, basically what I'm getting to is, do you get a lot of like hate comments?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's crazy, you know, the polar opposites of what me making a milkshake with my son can do, and the reactions, you know, the extremes of inspiration to depression, right? And that's, oh, I can't wait to do that with my son, or I hope the kid dies because, you know, they're jealous that the kid has a dad or whatever. So it's just stuff like that. That's the, you know, to deal with that, like to have somebody say, I hope the kid dies, like that's not good.
Crazy.
Right?
that's
It
fucking
sucks, dude.
that's heavy.
And it's
dude.
because
Like, what?
we just made a milkshake and like
Yeah.
it wasn't, I don't know. And so it's, I deal with it from an empathy standpoint. I guess it's the cliche thing of people that are hurting project that on the others type deal, right? So I just have empathy for that, and I respond to with all the hate and negative with positivity. You know, so when somebody says something, you know, like, I don't know, what did a guy say the other day? Anyway, like if you like coming at me about something, I usually just respond and say, I'm sorry that, you know, I caused that negative emotion within you. And that's how I respond, and I just leave it at that, because I am sorry, because my intent, you know, for me to put the pop in here is not for you to be mad at me about it. Like, it's just me trying to figure out, like, different creative stuff to do with food. So, that's all, man. You know, so I just deal with it from an empathy standpoint and just say, you know, I'm not. And then I've seen the reverse where you're talking shit, but I come back positive. Like I had a guy actually apologize. Like, yeah, I came at you on some bullshit. It was because I did a pizza video or something. Like I was at a restaurant. Like, don't even call that New York pizza. You know, you only doing it for views or whatever. And it's just like, so I came back and I said something like, bro, you ain't even built like that. You know, we from different yards, and, you know, acting like, you know, like it was going physical or something.
Over pizza, man.
And so that's what I said. And that's the guy that I responded to. Was just like, listen, I'm just out here having fun eating food. If that bothers you, and I don't,
sorry.
Yeah, right. And so that's when he like apologized or whatever. One story was, this dude was one of the first ones to comment on my post for like a few months straight. So obviously he was getting the notifications, right? Mm-hmm. And he was always negative. And so I'm out on like Chippewa over by Casa Azul one time. It was like midnight. And I hear, no way. And so I look over, and it's a dude, and because he had his profile pic, on his profile pic. So,
Yeah.
No way. It's you in the flesh. And he's like, can I take a picture? And so I let him take the selfie, and so I was like, all right, I don't know if I gave him a pound or something, but I walked away. And I look back and I just say, keep talking shit, you know, because it's just like,
Yeah.
I that's what you're doing. But, and then he kind of ended up falling off. But it just lets me know that, you know, people that are talking shit aren't necessarily, you know, sometimes they don't even think you're going to respond.
No, it's just
Sometimes they might want, you know, to think if their comment gets likes or something, you know, because that happens.
Of course, yeah.
You know.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
And then they see,
Yeah,
That shit happens all the
exactly.
time.
That's the thing. Like, and then, you know, I'm not gonna mention no names, but then this one dude was coming at me, you know, through some email stuff, and I ended up, you know, seeing him in person, you know, and it was just a different tone. Like he's putting me in his live, and I'm just like, don't put me in your live, like, you know, when you're just coming at me or whatever. So I'm like, there's only one reason you just put me in your live, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I handle it well. I handle the negativity well. A Buffalo, some dude that owns a confections company here in Buffalo, jumped in my DMs last week. And I remember I posted about it and kind of talked about it a little bit. And, you know, it just seemed like he's kind of like a high-end food snob in a sense of, you know, either it's high-end or it's not food or whatever, right? 'Cause he's like that food you eat in quotation marks. Hurts my heart, and, you know, I wouldn't even sit across from you at a Ted's. Like, when he said that, I was just like, all right, bro, like.
What the fuck?
And so I just responded like, all right, bro, damn. And I just left a smiley face and, like, ended it at that because, like, I don't know why you're, like, hate me because, you know, I want to eat your cookies. Like, I don't know.
Shit, like, all right, like, I don't understand that. Like, have you always had, like, the sweet tooth aspect, like, your whole life? Like right now, you got Oreo popcorn, and you do cotton candy.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I do waste some food.
Yeah.
When I do the milk, if I put milk in here, if I do this, I'm not eating it all or drinking it all. Mm-hmm. I'll take a few sips, but sometimes I'm doing back-to-back restaurants. I'm not eating. Sometimes it looks like I'm eating more than I am, which is why people are like, how are you not 500 pounds?
Yeah.
So sometimes I walk out of a restaurant with 3 boxes. I go to the next restaurant, I walk out with 2 more, so I got 5 boxes of leftovers. So sometimes I'll use them at the house. You know, sometimes I make tacos out of the leftovers. That's been my new thing. Okay. You know, how can I make a taco out of this? So,
I like that. That's good.
Like I had a salmon rice bowl from the hoagie stop, right? And so when I was there, I ate the hoagie and I had the rice bowl. So I only took a couple bites of the salmon, a couple bites of the rice. Actually, I had 2 of those, 2 bowls. And so, yeah, I just made it salmon and rice taco. You know?
Your tacos kind of give me OCD, I'm not going to lie. You do it so messy, and I know you do it on purpose, but...
So for me, I just try to keep it, you know, as authentic me as possible. Like, it's interesting how, like, I'll be doing something. Like, I was eating butter pecan ice cream one time, and I was spitting the pecans into the sink, because I don't want to chew them. I just like the ice cream. Or it's butter pecan. What did I say? Butter pecan? Yeah, butter pecan. So I'm spitting them into the sink, and I'm like, I should be doing this on video because this is what I'm doing, right? This is what I'm actually doing. And so for some people to think that sometimes like he's just doing that for the video, even though I do some stuff for the video. It's like when I did Cinnamon Toast Crunch and chicken wings, right? And so it's basically my other play on chicken and waffles, right?
Yeah.
Like Cinnamon Toast Crunch is just like waffles and syrup. It's a sweet with bread stuff. And chicken wings are chicken, right? So I put the chicken wings in with the cereal with the milk, which I wouldn't normally recommend that.
Yeah.
I just did that for the video.
Of course, yeah.
Right? But I basically was saying throughout the comments, like, bro, milk and chicken, oh, gross, soggy ass chicken. I'm like, just keep the chicken outside of the cereal bowl, and it actually makes sense. So yeah.
I feel like someone out there now needs to make a wing sauce Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I bet you that would slap.
Yeah.
People like sweet Asian. Like, what's the difference besides not a little tang? We'll add a little tang. Throw some hot sauce on it.
Yeah.
That's actually fucking that's funny. I don't know how I would have reacted to that video either though.
I definitely know I know I have people, you know, I throw people's OCD. I hear it all the time, you know, messy.
So how do you come up with these ideas? Like you said, you're an artistic, creative person.
Yeah. So like I feel like the milk. I think like putting the milk in the cotton candy was my idea, you know, originally. Like it's been done. I think Kroger or something has a cotton candy milk. But yeah, a lot of stuff I do just, you know, kind of come up with it myself, and then sometimes inspired by others. Like I think I did see somebody did like a candy bar or chocolate or something under the Keurig cup. Like I did like 3 or 4 videos doing like a candy bar under the Keurig cup.
Ice cream Snickers,
the ice cream Snickers, right?
They actually look fired.
Yeah,
Ice
so
cream Snickers,
I got that from somebody, but one of the things that I like about TikTok, as it evolved and became a thing, was that it made it acceptable to copy people.
Fuck yeah.
And so for young creators that don't know what to do, my advice is just watch content and then ask yourself, can I do that? And if you can do that, then go do that. And what you have to realize is that, everybody's audience is different, even though, so an 8-year-old kid, right, sees me do some simple magic trick that all of us have seen, right? But to him, I was the first person that he's seen do it.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's not to say, that he won't see it and realize that somebody else did it first, but that is also a thing where, my audience is my audience, and, some of the people aren't going to see that it wasn't original to me, and not that that's a thing. But so for me, I feel like it's okay to, kind of copy some content until you find your own originality. I feel like I do enough original stuff that when I do hop on a trend or I do copy what somebody else did, I'm not worried about it because I can hold my own. So
Yeah, and the trend thing nowadays is like normalized, and like you were saying, TikTok makes it acceptable, but like also you'd like to think your audience is there for you, like the conversation earlier. So like it's completely fine to take an idea you've seen and then like more or less do a review or put your own twist on it. And I feel like personally, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You're just putting your own opinion on it. And if your followers are following you for you, which is typically ideal, I like to think, then they're gonna enjoy that and not care where it came from. It's just, but everybody makes a big deal about that too, though. Some people do. Like stealing this, stealing that. Like, dude, relax, man. You're in 2023 at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't. Like I said, I'm not worried about any criticism from because some people have commented like sometimes I won't tag the original. Like I don't even know who the original creator is.
Right.
I don't just because I seen you do it and it got 5 million views doesn't mean you were the first one to do it.
No.
And so sometimes I don't know even if I should tag you or mention you because you could have stole it from somebody or whatever.
You want me to go into a wormhole for like 3 hours to find who the original creator of this was, or just make the however many minute video real quick?
I'm kind of starting the thing for me in content right now though is I'm starting to really even though I like to use music, trying to stop using other people's music just for copyright reasons. Like I'm having videos taken down, it seems like every week now, that I did months ago or whatever, because it's owned by Universal Music.
So, dude, they're the fucking worst, Universal. Universal's the worst to deal with. They really are.
So, I mean, I guess it's been interesting just because I'm like, well, the app has the permission to use the video for the creators, right? And so they have the license to use it. So but then I guess the licensing negotiations come up, and there was a period where my Triller videos were like, and I'm starting to notice that too. Like it's the Triller videos that are being taken down. Once in a while, the Instagram videos, like I had to do a couple new tracks on some videos last week, but yeah, just start to protect myself down the road as money gets made. I just don't want people coming for me. One of the things that is scary is like, remember Jay-Z, Big Pimpin'?
Mm-hmm.
So that song, like they were sued for that song 10 years after. And so to be sued 10 years after the song and how much money that song made over the 10-year period, it wasn't like it just came out and it was like, all right, we want to be, if you're suing for something that came out 10 years ago, you're about to get paid. So, yeah, I'm starting to worry about that a little bit. So I'm like, I got to start, if I'm going to use music, I think I'm starting to realize I'm going to have to either get direct permission or just create my own, and from the people around me, just use more local artists that I know.
Right.
So you're big on Triller, right?
So Triller was my best contract. I only have like 4,000, 4,500 followers on Triller. So my account's not that big, and I don't really get. There was a time, probably a couple years ago, like when they first recruited me and I was doing content. There was a time where I was getting good views and stuff, 20,000, 40,000. I did a video for Martin Luther King Day that got 1 million. But recently, even though they just, I just finished up a 1-year contract with them, I'm not getting, I don't really get good views on Triller. If they post it on the main page, feature it on the main page, I'll get 1,000, 5,000.
I just don't understand it because I've never used it.
So Triller is basically just like a short form video platform like TikTok,
Right.
Reels, Shorts, and I think I believe they're struggling in the people using the platform, but I think where they have some promise is in their events. So they're the ones that do the verses, right?
Yeah.
So are you familiar with verses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that could evolve and be something, and then as well as their boxing and MMA events.
That's where
So
I
they just
mainly know them for.
They just bought bare knuckle boxing or whatever, like last year. So what they were doing was they flew me down to Atlanta for the Jake Paul Ben Askren fight. And what was cool about it is that they mixed in boxing and concerts. So like in between the first bout, like Justin Bieber
was there,
performed, right?
Yeah.
And then, whoever else they had. So, to have like 3 concerts, in between each boxing thing, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But we'll see, I think it's interesting that, Versus to me hasn't really been as popular or a big, I don't feel like people are talking about it enough. But it's just showing me how hard it is right now for anybody to get attention, for anything
Saturated
they're doing.
world, man. You gotta have the right little either moment or something's got. It's tough.
I mean,
Everybody's on.
everybody's trying to do it.
Everybody is on. I see these rappers now, and I'm just like, where did they come from? Like, how do they have that diamond chain when I've never heard of them? You know what I mean? Like, where are these people coming from?
Yeah.
Everybody's on right now.
The people coming from, let alone the money. Where's the money coming from? What is going on?
It's a strange world that we're living in. People become like Bitcoin rich, and then all of a sudden they're a rapper too. Shit like that.
Right.
They're running scams on the internet and shit. Like, it's wild. It's crazy.
Although, what I've learned, just from personal experience, but then just realizing, like, it isn't just money, from a rap game standpoint, because they say basically, like, to get a song popping, it costs, $150,000 to $250,000 to run the marketing right and all that. But if that was all it took, then everybody that's in the NBA and the NFL, or just all these people that got money, and they got cousins that rap, and everybody would be, just on. If it was just all it took was for me to, throw my cousin $250,000 and he'd be the next big rapper, like.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's just not like that.
No, right. It's a fucking just strange world, man. It gives me headaches, dude. It really does. Everything involved with it. There's just so much to take in and process,
Yeah, man.
Fucking
Just
hell.
keep living and learning.
So, do you ever worry about, like, I don't know, like, becoming a full-time influencer, right? Is a weird thought for a lot of people. Like, just depending on companies paying you.
Yeah. So,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Do you ever worry that, like, oh shit, like next month is
Right. Yeah,
fucked?
it's definitely, an up and down game. Obviously I'm learning, even if you give somebody a great price, doesn't mean they're coming back next month, right? So, yeah, I do, even though that's something that's been my focus, that's why I do intend to have my own products, to be able to have that as well. And, I have different interests like real estate. I want to get into real estate, some real estate investing. So I definitely look to make moves that's going to be, create more stability, month to month or, when it comes to income. So absolutely.
How do you hit most of the companies up? Like, you just DM them, like cold DM or email or?
So that's the other challenge is learning. The other challenge is learning. I've learned that there's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Say separation, or like thinking that the person that I'm sending a DM to on Instagram is gonna care, or right. Or be able to make a decision. So for me, I get more yeses when I talk to the owner. And so I'm starting to, when I send the DM, it's like, can you please put me in contact with, the person that runs marketing or the owner, so that, we can get to the people that care about the decision, as opposed to, some people could be scared that I'm trying to take their job or whatever, too. So dealing with that. So I think with the bigger companies, like I should be closing in on a deal with Perry's here soon, to do 3 videos for their new ice cream. They had 3 new flavors they had this month. I think that was, how did that happen? So I was already using, I'd already tagged them in a bunch of videos. And I think I just hit him up through DM and was just like, how can I, do something? So yeah, email. I've done email. Try to go to the website. I've gone to the website, do the email through that, send the DM. I think what I need to start doing is doing more LinkedIn work.
Yeah.
Seems like I think there's a lot of missed opportunity there for the professionals of the world that are on there for that reason. I'm just not there to do anything.
Yeah. That's a hard part that a lot of people don't consider, like, that are in that world, like just getting in contact with companies to work with them. Like I told you before the pod, like we run like YouTube channels and stuff, and I manage social media for companies like this. The office we're in right now, this is one of the companies that I work with.
Okay.
So I just manage social media accounts for companies, and just adding clients is really, really hard.
Yeah.
Like I feel like all the companies that I work with pretty much came from like personal connections. Like it's hard, like cold, like emailing or DM like companies.
Yeah, it is. It's
get in touch
tough.
with.
It's tough. And that's the grind that I thought personally it'd be easier, but it's not. I honestly, I've kind of put too much weight on me just doing what I do day in and day out to reach the right people, and I'm just realizing that a lot of my audience aren't the people that I need to reach to make something happen from a monetary standpoint.
Right.
Right.
So
That's why there's talent agencies
Huh?
and stuff. I said that's why there's like talent agencies and stuff. Have you ever thought
and
about
so
like,
that's
working with
that's the other thing too that is interesting. Like I've had management, like there's this, was it Innovo? But there was this management company was like, you're now a priority influencer, but I only did like 1 video, and
Right.
like they ain't coming back, like, and it's just like, why ain't they coming back? Recently I I did an event with Hidden Valley Ranch. I was like, were you a part of it?
Oh, that was downtown.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we did
I was
it at
talking
the.
shit on that too.
You were what?
I was talking shit on it on
He
Instagram.
doesn't like ranch. I love ranch.
Oh, okay.
He's like a big
My big
blue,
thing
blue,
was
blue
brick
cheese.
ranch.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
I love ranch.
So I prefer blue cheese on my chicken wings for sure. But so Maddie actually hooked me up with that, and so we did that. That was a couple months ago. And now I see Hidden Valley has a ice cream, has partnered with Van Heusen or whatever ice cream, and they got a Hidden Valley Ranch ice cream, right? And I'm just like, how am I not the guy to reach out to for something like that? And so, but they're a bigger company, so Hidden Valley uses an advertising agency, so they hired an advertising agency to do the stuff like that, right? And so to deal with the influencers like me, because I actually at one point I tried to talk directly to the Hidden Valley Ranch, through DM or whatever, and they were like, contact, FCB Chicago, because we have a contract with them. And so I told him, I was just like, I was just trying to cut out the middleman, because I was waiting on her to get back to me about something. She wasn't getting back. I wanted to post a video, and I was just like waiting for her to get back to me. So I just sent the video to them directly. It was just like, yo, can I post this or what? And they were like, oh, you gotta, go through them or whatever. And so that's interesting too, learning how, that's what I'm saying, like there's this separation, they deal with that, but I don't know. So Hidden Valley probably has like the people that are running the social, however, whatever that looks like. And then, to actually do content for Hidden Valley, you got to talk to FCB.
Right. Yeah. There's layers.
Yeah.
Big companies like that. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of, I know, ad running is outsourced to one company, and then the influencer part of it is outsourced to another company, and then like the organic stuff is usually internal, but yeah, it's weird. It's weird. And those companies that run, like, for example, at Hidden Valley, like the company that's running their influencer stuff is probably also running shit for Pepsi or like
Yeah, they got a
whoever.
bunch of clients, right? So they work with a bunch of companies, and that's the thing. And I think I kind of pick up on that as when I see how long it takes for certain to respond. It's like it was like a month ago I tagged them in that, right? How are they responding now, right? And I just take it as, they're probably just all over the place and just trying to manage so much that, where I love it. I love when the owners run their socials, like locally, local restaurants or whatever. Just like right to it, you want me to come in or not? $350. You want me to come in or not?
You can usually tell too by their posts.
Yeah.
You can tell when the owners are.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. It's like they upload like a blurry picture of their pizza or something.
Come on through.
But then on the other hand, sometimes I'm like, I know they're paying people to do this. So that's the other thing is so for me, it's like bison, French onion dip, right? Like I know I kind of called them out on my story the other day. It was just like how, like it's weird to me like that they don't want to do something, and I don't really care if you currently use influencers or not. Like I'm local, I don't know. I just feel like and then when I see them post, and it's just like, why are you happy with the 12 likes? To post a video or a picture every few days, like I'm right here to guarantee you a lot more than that. And so why wouldn't that be like make sense?
It's a hard gap for a lot of people to process.
Yeah,
it still
pisses me off too, because I'm in that world, and it's like everything is so like siloed, like, and it's just commands from above. You know what I mean? We're budgeting so much money here, so much money there.
Yeah.
We just decided that some companies are like, we just decided that influencers don't work. And they probably tried it at one point,
Yeah.
Like Bison
I get
probably
that.
tried it at one point, and
Yeah.
they put a ton of money into it, and they probably tried it, and then they're like, doesn't work. So
Probably
now they're-
hired some overpriced people.
and then they're
Because
just
people are
settling.
overcharging. I'm just like, who is paying you $3,000? Like this lady hits me up and she's like, you know, I don't charge any less than $3,000, and I don't have nearly the amount of followers you do. And I'm like, well, who's paying you that? And for what?
You got to be really good at finessing.
Like who is like, and I don't know if it's just your presentation but I'm like, no, because it's all going to come down to numbers at some point, right? And
Yeah.
I see these paid partnerships, like I'll see paid partnership, but I'm like, you're getting 3 likes a video. Like, how are you getting paid for this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's interesting. And from a content creation standpoint, I feel like I always felt like my competitive edge was not only am I going to come in and take a picture or video, but I'm actually going to get it seen. So I'm not just going to take the pictures and the video and then give it to you like a photographer or videographer, and now you have to spend more money to get it seen, right?
to know what to
boost
do.
it or whatever, right? So I always just felt like that was my competitive advantage, is that, you know, I'm not just here to take the pictures and do the videos, but I'm actually going to be able to post it and,
Yeah.
you know, get it seen. So that's the other thing from thinking about going in, asking for, you know, view deals, like if you're going to pay X amount of dollars to the Buffalo News to be seen by X amount of people, right? With all that overhead they got, like I've started to, I'm learning like the overhead of, you know, some of these, you know, media companies, to what they have to charge, you know, just to maintain the business side of it. And I'm just like, could I just really do that my own by going to get, you know, a select few, you know, people with larger accounts or whatever, and I'll get you, you know, better exposure than what they're providing you locally, you know.
Right.
I'm gonna figure it out.
Sad, depressing talk right here. You know, fucking business and shit. What do we got here? What do we got? Got cotton candy.
That's right.
What's the usual go-to? What are we working with? Give me.
I want to see this pork.
Yeah, give me a rundown. Let's do something. Let's do
All
something.
right, so let's do some cotton candy and Sprite, huh? So
Hell
we got
yeah.
blue raspberry cotton candy
Live on the pod. This is awesome.
and some Sprite. So it melts as you pour it in.
Oh, nice fizzle.
I don't have a spoon,
Yeah.
but it's all in there.
There might be spoons.
Dude, I'll see what I can.
This is No, we don't really need one. No, it's all blended, yeah.
That is insane.
That's looking wild.
Like, I know cotton candy kind of melts in your mouth, but
Yeah.
like I never thought about.
You've never seen those videos of putting like cotton candy into like water or something?
That's decent.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
I kind of want to try this bubble gum one.
Uh-oh, we're getting risky now.
Where's the Oreo popcorn from?
I got that from Burlington.
Okay.
Burlington?
Yeah.
Co-factory?
Yeah.
Really?
I got
It's bizarre.
got some.
No wonder they're going out of business.
I got who, Burlington?
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit? Fruity Pebbles and then Cocoa Pebbles. So they got Snickers, they got Twix.
They just got everything.
Yeah. So
Live pours, boys. Here we go.
yes. Bubble gum.
Have you ever had the bubble gum before?
Yeah, I just did it last night
Oh, okay.
with some milk.
With some milk.
I feel like milk would be a little bit better. I don't know.
Then the Sprite.
Milk gives you like
do you
that
think?
texture.
We're about to find out.
Ooh, ASMR. A little ASMR action.
I didn't melt yet.
He's going back in for more though, so
Straight. You know, it's not the best, but it's all right.
Can I take a dive on that?
Yeah.
Let's do bubblegum. All right, bubblegum review. Here we go. All right. Smells good, but one sip, everyone knows the rules, right?
We get a little cotton candy though too. I kind of like the texture of it.
That's pretty good. That is pretty
Need
good.
some ice.
If it was cold, it'd be so good. But that is still pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a lot like sweeter. Like,
I'm really
a lot
happy it's not sweeter. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't really do super
it's like-
sweet things.
kind
Yeah.
of smooth.
It
It
is
takes like the
nice.
fizz out almost.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
it could,
right?
No, because I feel like it's
Yeah,
like a
kind of went
syrup.
juicy.
It's like a syrupy blend. Can I see that blue raspberry? I'm gonna toss that one over here. You can give this one a go, baby. Smells delicious.
So hey, you gotta try stuff, you know? That's my whole attitude. You try it.
That's pretty good too. I'm gonna give the bubblegum out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 8.3.
Wow.
The blue raspberry, I'm gonna go with
So
the
strange.
blue. It's different. It's like a different texture. It's like,
Yeah, it doesn't even taste like pop anymore. It's weird.
Wow.
but like the Sprite is a good mixture. I feel like milk would be
better.
definitely an
No,
interesting.
milk definitely keeps the same consistency. You know, it's milk
Yeah.
and milk.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it didn't really.
I feel like Sprite kind of goes with anything.
That's why
Yeah.
I got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
Like
I
people
kinda
like
got it.
people like dropping Jolly Ranchers and stuff in Sprite.
And it's clear, so
Yeah.
it's like it kind of keeps the color of what it is.
Everything goes with Sprite. Sprite is
really good.
severely underrated.
Sprite or 7-Up with honey whiskey.
Honey whiskey.
It sounds so weird, but it's so fucking
See, it
good.
doesn't sound that weird. 'Cause
It's
Sprite, because Sprite and 7-Up, I feel like can go with anything.
I did a cognac video with ginger ale and honey.
Ooh. The honey, honey's perfect for like liquor too.
Yeah.
Love honey.
Yeah.
I don't have a super, like I said, I don't like super sweet stuff, but that's not overbearingly sweet. You know?
Yeah, so I don't know. I wouldn't say it's something that you would bottle up, but I gave it a try and we're gonna keep it moving. So we'll see what else, you know, besides the milk. I think the milk thing is the real deal.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, there already is a company that has the cotton candy milk. But yeah, we'll see what else comes down the pipeline.
You need to do something cursed like Diet Coke and like and like bubble gum.
Yeah, you should
Oh.
do something that just pisses a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Everything I do pisses.
you're
You
gonna
don't even gotta try, you know?
Just take the cotton candy, just pour Hidden Valley Ranch in it.
Oh no.
So what I'm gonna do with the ranch ice cream is,
I don't even want to hear it.
but it actually makes sense though.
Okay.
Is if you use it for a sandwich,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
Because like you sometimes have cold condiments on a sandwich anyway.
Of course. Yeah.
So it being cold isn't the problem. And if it tastes like ranch, and if people would put ranch on their chicken sandwich,
That's
then
such a good idea.
then what's the difference as far as from a taste standpoint?
See, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought where you were going with it was you're gonna put the ice cream in a bowl. The next scene, you're cutting up carrots and celery and putting it in the ice cream,
There you go.
and just doing a little mixer on like a salad.
Well, I actually mentioned to somebody yesterday about I was gonna do a sandwich and I could do a salad too.
Dude, just put anything you dip in ranch in there. Oh,
I gotta do it. I gotta
Some
do some sort
broccoli.
of hit piece on that ice cream. Honestly.
some what piece?
Hit piece, just like
Hit piece?
trash it. Yeah. Go buy a ton of it and just burn it.
I don't understand you.
It's the Buffalo thing.
It scares
you
me.
do understand.
Ranch ice cream scares me.
It does.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think that's gonna like? Like, are you excited for that? Like,
I'm excited to do a video for it. I mean,
but are you like let's go one on one, no social media involved, no cameras are on. You get home, you look at that, you're like, do I really want this?
no.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't say I want to do that. I love the creative around it.
Of course, and I like that. I
that's
appreciate
where-
it for
That's
that.
where I can only go with it. You know, it's just like, oh.
Like when I saw
interested.
Gatorade
I
do the
like
cucumber.
I like to see stuff that I haven't seen before. Like I'm just that kind of, you know.
Of
I
course.
just like that, you know. It's like I'm like, where is this going? What's gonna be different? You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm bored of commercials. Like, I'm bored of the same thing of what stuff looks like. I hate that lids looks the same that it did 20 years ago. Like, nobody's doing nothing different with hats or anything these
Yeah.
days. Like, how can we do something different, right?
I say New Era's doing some different shit.
Like what?
Like New Era, like the HQ downtown. Have you ever been in there?
No.
Like they do some crazy shit. Like, I mean, they got bigger logos up front. They got like certain element, like certain color thread that are like puffed up. Certain ones back, and then they got the huge patches on the side.
I've
Like,
seen the patches.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like they're trying.
just
to
think,
do
like-
more. They're also limited with embroidery machines.
Of course, yeah.
You know, like it's kind of limited to what you can do with hats, but.
I'm going any aspect of like something other than your traditional hat.
So
Get
I
something
had
goofy.
Totally
Get
different.
so I
something
had a
goofy.
design patent for a hat, and it was basically to, actually, when was that? 2010. So I think it expires like next year. So what I did was I basically, to make the prototype, was I took scissors and I cut it all the way to about there, and then I just basically raised this up to here. So it looked like, because I would always wear my hat like this, I think I just looked in the mirror one time and I was like, what if the brim was crooked when you put it on straight, and then it would just look like you had it looked like it was tilted, right?
See, no, that's what I'm talking about.
And
Something
so-
crazy. Normalize something different there.
And
That's
so
funny.
I tried to have a couple prototypes made in China, and that they were just butchered. Like there's like to be able to, and then to be able to mass. I learned a lot with this patent, just understanding, like trying to develop a new product. Like one thing about having a hat like that, like if that hat went into production, a company liked it. See, you can stack 10 hats like this in a box, this big, right?
Yeah.
If each hat has this angled brim, now they're not. Now you need a box this tall because they're not just sitting flat, you know, on each other. So like shipping costs increase and all of that. So I got a patent. I had a personal consultation with Daymond from Shark Tank.
Okay.
At his office about it. That was interesting. For the 44th floor corner unit of the Empire State Building. I can't imagine what the rent on that office is.
How was that experience?
That was fun. He didn't really like the idea. I did submit it to New Era. They're like, we don't know the marketability of it. So I kind of let it die. I never wanted to build a hat company from the ground up. I didn't necessarily want to create it. I just wanted to license it in a sense. I'm like, I got this patent, I just wanted to license it to a company that already does hats. But I just sat on it and I never really did anything with it.
No, but experiences like that are so good.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are typically afraid to do that, but you probably knew before that you didn't want to own a hat company or something like that.
Right.
But going off and doing it and just seeing what it's like, experiencing that, like you just said, Empire State Building, having a consultation with that.
How did you have a consultation with?
So I
John?
I went through a frustrating period of trying to contact them, right? I remember leaving like this, it was like a Sunday, like, Jim, you're not going to contact anybody on a Sunday, but I was like frustrated that like nobody's getting back to me or whatever, and I'm just like, so if New Era's interested, will you then want to talk to me, or like what? So like just the reaching out, somehow I got in touch with his assistant. I don't know if I went to the website, or I don't know. I know it just took a month or two of just me trying, got a hold of his assistant's email and basically said, look, I got this patent for a hat. How much is it going to cost to get in front of this guy? So he ended up responding like that night. Because I think the patent is leverage, right? It's like he's got something. right? And then I was just like, what's it gonna cost? Like, you give me the number, and I just want to know what is this gonna be. So he sent me 3 options. It was a half an hour phone call for $1,000, 2,500 for a 1 hour in person consultation, or 3,000 to go to dinner. So I took the 2,500 for the hour at his office.
Yeah.
So I didn't know it was the Empire State Building. It was just like Fifth Avenue or whatever. We walk in, there's all the security. I'm like,
You just got an address to pull up to, and you're like, what the fuck? This is the damn.
Yeah, I just like walk in, and I was just like, oh shit.
That's fucking cool though.
Yeah. So I always look at that as, he seen my face. I was in his face for an hour.
Boom.
In 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So at some point, I feel like if I got something else, I'm not a stranger anymore.
There you go. No, and that's like that story you just told there is like the most important thing. Like, no matter who it is, unless it's like somebody really high, like elite, like an elite world person, you know what I mean? Like, no matter who you want to contact, there's definitely an angle. And like you said, like you were frustrated months or weeks or whatever it was trying to figure that out. But then you got the connection, and you somehow ended up with an email, But there's always an angle.
I said damn, but honestly, 2,500 to be in his office
It's honestly not a bad
pitching an idea.
rate.
That's honestly not bad at all.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like there's always an angle. I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This was probably like 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Price probably went up.
Inflation.
Yeah, so the patent, so it was a design patent, and another thing that I've learned in dealing with the patent, trademark, the whole game, is realizing, even with lawyers, and then even somebody like, Daymond John, who, is well respected in the business world with the clothes and all of that. Not everybody is up on current, right, things. So one of the things that when I was pitching to him, I told him I had a design patent, and it's kind of like, kind of had like this, it's not as good as a utility patent. And the thing is that before, I forget what year it was, but I think it was 2008. Ever since 2008, I think it was, all the judges on the federal circuit, when it came to patents, changed the rules around patent infringement, which was, before then, if you just changed the size of the logo, right, or say that my idea, right, say you raised it a half an inch higher than where I had it, would have been okay for you to do. Mm-hmm. Ever since they changed the law, is now it's just a visual. If it looks the same, it's infringement. So design patents actually gained more power than what they were previously known to have. And so if I remember correctly, like, I don't think he knew that. And so I was able to say, like, this is actually what the law is now, and it actually has more power than you're giving it credit for.
Yeah.
So
It's like even like that just goes back to the point, like knowing that is just.
And then with the lawyer, so I did a trademark I was doing a trademark, and he was advising me not to do something, like don't put the period there or something, and I was like, no, I want to do that. And so, and it actually ended up getting approved. So I went against the lawyer's advice on what to do, even though he's a patent and trademark attorney, and actually ended up getting awarded the trademark or whatever. And he actually was just like, you mother. But I was doing, I was doing my own research at home, like for hours and days and weeks at a time to, have that. The other thing is like a trademark search, right? think I paid him like $700 to do this trademark search. Actually did it with him in his office. Paid him $700 to do it with him. And I seen the free ass website that he was using to do it. And I'm like, well, I could have just sat here for 2 hours myself and not paid you $200 or $700.
I know my way around
did this
it.
here. So basically, it's just learning, learning
Lawyers
that.
do it.
So
Lawyers,
you're
yeah.
really just like charging me to use the same free ass website. Like I expect you to have like some networking new tools or that I don't have to pay you that much money, but no.
When it's really just some miscellaneous website.net.
It was like freepatentsonline.com or something.
I mean, you can do your own trademark. You don't need an attorney, but
No, that's really.
Sometimes I would say I do like them for the convenience of it. No, that
It's a recommendation,
it's gonna
someone to call.
It's going to be done right from a
Professional standpoint, and those
Yeah.
going in blind, definitely. But like something with your experience now, like I just think that's so important, like that you did that, because now if you want to, in 2 years, you already know all this about it.
Right.
You don't need to go diving in, and like you'll be so much ahead of the game as if somebody started on the same day as you. You know,
It was like doing the getting the stuff from China or whatever, just starting to research the importing laws.
I would have
and
never
stuff
thought
like
about that.
you know?
that's tough. I've played around with that stuff, like just manufacturers in China, like it's tough.
Now, what's the attraction of the China? Just
Finding-
cheaper?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And they have like more resources for cheaper price, I would say. Like, like they can do more at a cheaper rate.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
mean,
tough
they
finding
ha-
the right manufacturer. It's really hard.
They have, I reached out to a company looking for them to do like the same style 5950s like the New Era does. And I reached out to this one company that actually used to produce hats for New Era, but no longer were. But when I asked him, he was like, yeah, I can get you New Era hats. But I was like, no, do you actually make them for New Era? Because I actually was trying to find it in, like, who's making them for New Era, to like, the networking part. And he was, yeah, I can get you New Era hats or whatever. No, but do you make them for them? Because it's obviously China's the bootleg nation of the world, right?
Yeah.
So, and then they basically have like, it's like dorms of like their workers, like that's what they do, that's where they live, right? They charge them that because they're basically giving them somewhere to stay, probably give them something to eat every day or whatever, but that's why they're paying them so cheap, and then that's why you can get your stuff for cheap. It's just like, it's like a college campus. It's just like buildings
it's
of
working.
doors of people that they'd rather do that than be at the parents' farm.
Exactly. Other options,
Right. So
Well, that's like when you go down to like any all-inclusive, like we were just in the Dominican Republic and they all live on site, but like then you go off of the resort, and it's like, damn, I understand it
There's
now.
like 6 people riding on one motorcycle.
And then there are mud huts and shit like that, And it's like
They love it. Yeah,
they get that opportunity to whatever they're being paid and stuff like that. They get the opportunity to have their housing, dorming. You have your own little
Get
community.
tipped out a bunch
You
of
get tips, but
American money.
even like the whole aspect of that place, like from the person who's mopping the floors, they all live on site.
Yeah.
And like when you think about it, it's like, oh, that's kind of like a upsetting life. But then when you really think about it, it's like, well, shit, I'd probably be doing that too.
relative, right? It's relative to what you're used to, what your other options are, right?
Yeah.
So for some of them, it's just like this is much better.
As unfortunate as it is, it's the way the world works at this point,
Yeah.
It's crazy. And we see like girls that do like OnlyFans and stuff
Selling feet pics and shit like that.
making crazy money.
Dude, I still need to get on Feet
and,
Finder.
Dude, there's girls down there that could be doing that. Like they have internet, like
Yeah.
and I'm just like, why don't they do that?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's got to be some topic behind that or some reasoning.
I just think it's not like normalized in that culture, but it is here.
Well, America is just
America's,
crazy. America's crazy.
What's up with the banking situation?
Oh my God,
man.
I don't even know, bro.
Dude, it's scary.
Shit's getting wicked.
I kind of knew about that, like not knew about it, but like
He's the insider source.
Saw it coming. I saw it coming with the banks and stuff, and I was actually for the past like I don't even know how many months, probably 4 months or so. Every time I pass like my bank's ATM, I just pull out the max amount every single time just to get cash out. I do that every single time.
Really?
And I don't use the cash. I just have it. Probably shouldn't say that.
I know what you use it for.
I got guns too, motherfucker.
I know what you use it for.
Yeah.
Singles.
Hit the strip clubs too.
That's what the cash is for.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, but honestly, I think gold, silver is a move. Honestly, banks are going digital eventually. I mean, with the shit going on now, it's just,
Once again, it just makes my fucking head spin, man.
yeah.
Like, I'd rather stick to
I
cotton
really
candy.
don't understand. I don't understand it, to be honest with you. So
It's crazy. I mean, all the banks are owned privately. Like, they're all like Vanguard and fucking BlackRock and these giant companies that just own the Federal Reserve. Like, they're just printing money when they want to. It's not a real thing. It's fucking weird. Like, gold and silver is actually a limited resource, you know? So, like, I feel like money, it would make common sense that money should be backed by gold and silver, but it's not anymore since, like, the 80s. So they can just print as much as they want. It's,
You're getting deep.
yeah, sorry.
Making
Dan
my head
doesn't like
spin,
this
bro.
talk. I love this talk, but Dan doesn't
Making
like
my
it,
head
so.
spin, man. Like, then you're gonna start getting into like cryptocurrency and shit, and that's just really
I'm not
making my
really
head
into
spin.
crypto.
Well, that tanked. That fell off.
Yeah. It'll go
Fucking
back up
hell.
eventually, I think, but I'm not a heavy.
You
big
do any
person.
crypto or anything?
I don't even want to talk about it.
No, okay, that's good. That's fine.
I probably lost about 40 grand on
Oh no.
Dogecoin.
Oh no.
Was that like 40
Lost, not like it's still there waiting to go back up.
It's gone. It's gone.
It wasn't like, did you like gain 40 grand and then lose it, or was
No,
it just?
I just kept, so I initially bought in at about 48 cents because it seemed to be hanging there for a couple months, you know, after it hit the 70, you know, and then it dropped back down. It was hanging around the 50, 48. It just seemed like it was hanging around that 48 for a little while. And so I hopped in and it would go down and I'd buy more, but I'm like, this might be the new bottom. And it'd go down and I'd buy more because I'm just like, I'll just decrease, because I was basically playing for the dollar.
Buy the dip.
Trying to level up
I was
your
basically
initial
trying
purchase.
so I was basically trying to, get down my average cost per share, right? And so I was basically playing for the dollar. I'm like, all right, if I get down to like 33 cents, then I'll triple my money or whatever once it hits $1. But it just kept going down. And I would buy more at like $5,000 a pop.
Oh yeah.
Like, just hoping that this is the new bottom, and it just wasn't. So, and then it hit that day where it went quick. It was going quick, and I was just like, I'm watching this thing, and I'm just like,
Sad days.
I don't know what to do. And I was just like, I'll just sell it all, and I'm like, I'll try to find another company to get it back, and I'm
Done with this shit.
Yeah, and I ended up cashing all that out, and then of course you watch it over the next week or two, and it's like, oh, it went back up 6 cents. It's like, oh, I probably should have not, but you don't ever.
No.
You don't ever know. So
It's tough.
It's a tough thing.
I got bored during COVID and put a few grand into like crypto and stocks, and they're all fucking tanked now. I just downloaded Robinhood.
The only
One day.
yeah, that's what I went through too.
Yeah.
Robinhood.
No, yeah.
I actually did Coinbase.
That's right.
I'm just hoping, you know,
I rocked with
it'll
Coinbase
just
for a
level
while.
out with inflation in 10 years or something.
I used to
be
use
okay.
Robinhood. That's what I did the Dogecoin at, and that's when it got me into it. To be honest with you,
Dude, honestly, Max Scott is a genius.
Max got it.
Yeah, this kid, we had him on. That was one of our first few episodes. He bought into Bitcoin when he was like 15 or something. Like
15 cents.
no, when he
When it
was
was-
like 15.
It was
years old.
probably like under a
It
dollar.
was under $1.
Probably bought a bunch of
And
it.
he bought a ton of it, and then it went up. I think he
cleared
sold it
millions
at,
or something.
25 grand or something. he
Yeah,
said.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He probably cleared a lot of M's, but yeah, that shit is I don't know. It's a risky thing.
Yeah, I kind of messed up on the hype with Musk. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
That's when I pulled when he tweeted about it. I hit
That's
70.
when
and
everybody
I
pulls.
I pulled.
That's what fucks everybody
I
else
know,
over.
and I pulled. Well, yeah, I pulled. I'm sorry. Yeah, I pulled. I put 100 into it at like
The guy
2
holding the
cents.
line.
I put
The guy holding the
I put $100 in it, 0.02 cents. I cleared like, I think it was like 17 or something. That was not much, but I was like, fuck it, I'll throw $100 on it.
I guess I'm just ignorant to the whole, utilization of crypto to people using it to buy stuff. Like
That's another
I
thing,
don't even
yeah.
understand it, but they're like, I think I was just caught up into the, it seemed like it was like 3 cryptos that were like dominating the says Bitcoin, what
Ethereum,
Dogecoin, and I was like, Dogecoin, is obviously like what it's worth in a sense of cents to what these others are, and I'm like, it's being mentioned with these companies, these other two, and it's like, why is it me? So I was just kind of banking on that, but it was a popularity thing, I guess.
The one thing that makes sense to me though is that like Bitcoin has a limited amount, where like the U.S. dollar, they can just print more, you know. So like Bitcoin is limited to how many Bitcoins you can have. Like there's a limited amount forever.
Bitcoin
They
backed
can
by
never
anything?
make more. It's not backed by anything, so that's the other
sketchy.
thing. Yeah.
People
It's-
claim it is, but it's truly not
No.
backed by
I
anything.
heard this one guy, I don't know, I forget his name. He's some old guy influencer. He's like, I know who's behind Bitcoin. He's like, I know who started it. And if you guys knew, you would run as fast as you could.
Who the fuck's that guy?
I don't know.
I'm gonna get on TikTok and say that.
Yes. Yeah, we'll see.
Cool, man. Well, thank you
Yeah,
for
man.
coming through.
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to plug? Anything coming up?
What's coming up? I don't know. Just stay tuned for them Perry's ice cream videos.
Oh.
Charlie's cheesesteak videos.
I'm gonna dislike the Hidden Valley video.
you sick fuck.
Stay tuned for the Valley Ranch ice cream video.
We'll put your Instagram in the description, so go give them a follow. It's down below.
You know what the fuck it is.
Like, comment, subscribe. Otherwise, you're a big fat pussy bitch.
That's right.
Peace, bitches.